It's too long. God. So this, with the yukata, this is actually the hardest thing is dishes, because like you want to like rinse out the bowl, but then it's like it's gonna get wet. So sometimes I just kind of like gonna do it like this.
Most of the time, Dave doesn't do any dishes at all.
Alright, I just got out of the shower. When I get out of the shower and I brush my hair and I slick it looks like slicked back, and I feel like I look a little bit like a Nazi. Without the beard. So I like to sit in front of the fan and dry it off. Next, what I like to do is I sit down at the desk here and answer some emails. I've got 42 emails in the inbox, so kind of a lot of work to do this morning. You know, let's buckle down. I really shoot for inbox 0. I wish there was a way to trim the video before you put it up, because then the end of every video is like, you know, you just see this gross hand going in to stop it. I'll keep looking around for it. Anyways, pretty good comic book pull this week. So we've got the new Saga, all-time favorite, really great space opera in the vein of a Star Wars, but way better. Well, I'm sorry, I shouldn't have said that. It's very. There's also a new Black Magic, which, you know, this one comes out pretty rarely, so it's always very exciting. Greg Rucka, Nicholas Scott, little Wiccan comic. It's very, very good. I'd highly recommend that. You can get the trade of the first. And then there's also the new Secret Empire. You know, I've been all right with Secret Empire. I think it started kind of strong. Now there's just kind of a lot of fighting, and but you know, I want to finish it. And a new X-Men Blue. You know, always love X-Men. Now I am excited for Secret Empire to finish, and then for Marvel Legacy to start, because I'm really hoping they bring back the old Fantastic Four, which, you know, kind of the best. Comics first family. And the last thing I'll say on comics, I was a little sad this week because the final Silver Surfer was supposed to come out. Michael Allred and Dan Slott's incredible Silver Surfer, which is actually my absolute favorite comic right now. But it didn't come out this week, so maybe next week. Well, here's Eliza in her office doing some work. This used to be my office, but then I moved to a music studio so I wouldn't be caterwauling all night. So now this is Eliza's office.
Nelly!
Yeah, that's me. It's really bright out. So now I'm going to bike to my office. Got to pump up the old tires first. Let's take a moment to talk about bicycle safety. Now, that last post was a little reckless. It was an antic. It's not an endorsement of an actual way to bicycle. You shouldn't have a phone in your hands, for one thing. But I did pick a very quiet side street to do that particular antic on. I looked behind me and in front of me. There were no cars anywhere near, and I should probably be wearing a helmet. So this is my office. It's actually just a rehearsal space in Gowanus. There's a nice little park behind. Let's go into the studio and see what's going on. Okay, gonna open up the door now. Son. What? Aeneas! Mitchell!
Studio.
Hey, this is Aeneas Mitchell. We share this little studio space.
Yeah, it's Dave's room, but I wake up before he does. So.
I'm a pretty late sleeper. Yeah. How you doing?
I'm good.
Good.
I just got in here.
Aeneas doesn't know about the stories either about the 15 seconds. So I'm sorry, what are you doing?
I'm working on Hadestown.
Oh, I've heard of it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna work on it for my whole life. That's my plan.
Sounds pretty good to me. Hey, that was fun. It's like when someone comes and visits Mr. Rogers. I'm not Mr. Rogers. Anyways, this is my studio. This is where I write music and stuff. Sometimes. So this is the main thing I'm working on, Moby Dick. If it's crossed off, that means I've written it. So, goddamn, it's pretty far along. I just gotta do 3 giant things. So the sermon, that's like a pre-show, like a 10-minute folk song about Jonah and the whale. Gotta do that. Cutting in, that's like the big cutting apart the whale section. That's gonna be like 15-minute song and dance. That'll be big. And then I gotta do sextet, which is, it's kind of a trick because it looks like it's one song, but really it's like 6 simultaneous songs that happens towards the end, and it's just destroying me. But I'll do it. And there's that guy watching over me. And this is this beautiful little constellation star thing that Chloe Treat, our assistant choreographer, made for us on opening. Pretty cool. And this is the 50-year plan of shows. You know, half of these are written and half are not, and they're all like there's trilogies. This is like the novel trilogy, and this is the War and Peace trilogy, and this is the Russian trilogy. I don't really know if I'm actually going to write all those, but it's fun to have ambitious goals in life. This is my bookshelf, which is full of inspirational music books, and then the last 3 rows are just comics. A lot of X-Men, a lot of Hickman, a lot of good stuff. This is pretty cool. So this is actually an edition of War and Peace that I got that used to be in the Ars Nova show. This was in Pierre's study. And when Pierre was studying before the duel, it was always open. Ah! Sorry, it's falling. Okay, 1 second. Alright, I'm okay now. So the book before the duel was always open to this page right here, which is a beautiful painting of the duel from the novel by Valentin Serov, which is worth Googling because he did a whole set. This is actually a new carpet I got too. I want to take a moment. So right when the show was, closing and all that stuff was happening, I came into the studio one night and I found that the carpet had been overrun by carpet beetles. And so then then there was like a cast event that night that then I didn't go to because I had to like take care of the infestation. Then I wrote this really long and kind of crazy email about the carpet beetle situation in the studio. Which was kind of like an extended metaphor for how I was feeling at the time. So I wanted to apologize to the cast if that email was a little too crazy. But some people said it was funny. So, I don't know. Anyways, I'm gonna get to work now, so I'm gonna sign off for a bit. Gonna maybe do some Moby Dick work. Maybe work on a little Beowulf revision for something in the future, perhaps. And Little Bunny Foo-Foo. That's another thing I gotta work on. So I gotta get to work. I'm just taking a little break to get some lunch here at this little Cuban spot called My Cuban Spot here in beautiful Gowanus, Brooklyn, land of never-ending construction. I have been having some issues with the volume. It seems like if I go to adjust the volume, it immediately turns the volume off, and then it's silent. I don't know why that's happening. It's not when I'm recording. It's like when I go to edit the video. If I touch the volume while I'm editing the video, it turns the sound off, and then I can't tell if the sound is off or not. So I just had uploaded something with no audio. Anyways, that's on me. I'm gonna figure that out. Don't you worry about it. I'm gonna stop just talking about the technical aspects and keep this content really high quality. So see you in a little bit. I'm also just gonna grab another coffee here at my favorite coffee place in all of New York City, 9th Street Espresso, which is at the corner of Douglas Street and 4th Avenue. And probably they just used to be on 9th Street and then they moved, and so it's probably not that big of a deal. But what I will say is that this coffee is so good, I don't even put sugar in it. Usually I put sugar in my coffee, which Britton Ashford always teases me about because she thinks it's not real coffee if there's stuff in it. Though this coffee I do put a generous amount of steamed whole milk. Alright, it's time for me to head to the theater. I did want to take one more moment to kind of revel in this Bosnian lamp that I really like, that Bradley King taught me how to wire up. Went to the hardware store. I'm sorry, actually, Jesus. I call it a Bosnian lamp, but it's actually Turkish. Eliza and I, we just saw these lamps in Bosnia where they have a lot of them, but it's actually called a Turkish mosaic lamp.